Hi everyone, it's Bert from Seasoned Gaming and we're back with another controller upgrade. This is from Bionik. This is a grip for the Xbox One controller. One quick thing I want to mention here before we get started, this is only for the standard controllers. This is not for the Elite controller, which we've done a bunch of videos for. But why is this important? And like I always say, why do you even care? Well, I've tried many times to kind of make the ultimate Elite controller wannabe on this channel. As you've seen a number of these, we've recently did magnetic thumbsticks for the standard Xbox One and PlayStation 4 controllers. This gets us some nice grips. So we're getting closer and closer to not needing that Elite controller, but I still believe that the best controller you can get is a brand new Elite controller, not any of the new ones. As I did mention, let's get started with this unboxing. It's really quick, there's really not much to it, but just wanted to mention what it does. So all you get is these two little grips. One cool thing about this is that you have a 2-position trigger lock. And let's kind of take a look at what it is inside here. So what they actually show you here is the 2 trigger stop points. So what they've done and what's kind of neat here is you get the ability to have a shorter trigger just by moving this adjustment on the actual grip. And you get the actual grip itself. Now, one of the things that I did read in the reviews is that the grips are pretty hardcore, I guess you could call them. They're a lot harder than the standard Elite controller. Obviously, the standard Xbox controllers don't have any grips. And one of the things that I'll mention as I get closer to here is that this grip enhancement is not for everybody. And I'll explain why as we get this open. Okay, so let's take a look at what you get here. So as you see here in the window, all you do is get the grips, and I believe there's a tool to get these open. So let's get this open. And it is a pretty smooth opening, so right away you get a user guide. Let's take a look at this. So Bionik. There's numerous ways that people have suggested opening this. So the thing you can do with the tool here, so this is what I call the trim tool, or the tool that you can use to get this open, is stick it at the top and pull out. I don't suggest that way. I like going from the sides, but it's a pretty good instruction manual here. It looks like it comes in numerous languages, and more than likely all you're going to need here is just the pictures. So pretty easy. Let's get that out of the way. We don't need it. And let's take a look at the actual grips themselves. So here we go. There's no tape or anything. You do get a brand new trim tool, and this one's actually pretty nice. It's pretty low profile, so you can get under those grips pretty good. Let's take a look at the grips here. So pretty tough here. Now, one of the things that I have heard, and as you can kind of imagine putting your hand here, is that it's pretty hard. It's not a soft rubber, it's a pretty hard rubber. I have seen a number of people mention that this is more for people that get really sweaty hands, or if you just want some additional grip, this is going to be pretty good. This entire kit only cost me $13. So if you think about the magnetic sticks with that D-pad running you about 15 to 20 bucks, and these at another 13 bucks, you're getting almost a full Elite controller wannabe for around 30 to 35 bucks, depending on what you're looking at for costs and everything. So it's a pretty good feature there. Now the other thing here is you can kind of see as I get closer here, as I push this up, all it does is kind of shut down that thumbstick when it comes down there. So it's a pretty cool twitch thing here that you can simply change on the back. It's a good adjustment that you can change. So I like that. Let's get these kind of installed and see what we think. Now I did mention these are not for the Xbox One Elite controllers. This is for the standard or the new ones. And what I have here is a older first generation controller from Xbox. And this is a custom skin, but I did want to mention how these work. So you have your points that you kind of slide these into, and then you have your 4 points and you simply pop it in the back. And let me kind of do that here. So as you can see here, you do want to line it up, and you're gonna just literally pop it in here. It's really easy, there's not much to it. I come on this side and line these up and simply pop them in as you do with the other controller stuff. It's really easy. There's, once again, not much to it. If you needed some help on it, you have the figure that's on there, and they are installed. So there's not really much else to it. It's literally that simple. You can kind of see how they look. So they look pretty good. Let me put the battery cover on here just to kind of give it a full complete look. So here you have what that looks like. So So what I wanted to do is compare these grips to an Elite controller standard grips, and I'm not really going to compare it to the Scuff grips because the Scuff grips goes for an entirely different feel, and it's also a lot more expensive of an upgrade. But here you have the standard grip, and I wanted to zoom in on it on purpose because I wanted you to see how it's a very similar design to the Elite, but if you look at the grip really close, you can see kind of the spacing is a lot more. And the biggest difference that you see here with these grips is the rubber is a lot harder, and I mentioned that a few times. Now let's look at an Elite controller's grip, and you can see that it's a lot smaller as far as the spacing of the rubber. They go around the same direction, so you can kind of see that there. But the biggest difference from an Elite controller is that the Elite controller rubber is super soft. It's not as soft and cushy as the Scuff grips, which I've mentioned a second ago, but it's really soft, and this is a really good controller, obviously, if you don't have super sweaty hands. These grips themselves is where I really suggest it if you get super sweaty hands. Now I personally don't, so I probably won't be using these grips too much, but they work really well for that in mind. They also work really well if you're trying to kind of make an almost wannabe Elite controller with everything else. So what I've been using mainly for my testing before I did the official unboxing is I did the magnetic sticks with my PUBG controller, and then I have the grips here on the back with these. So what this tries to mimic in the back is the shorter throw. So if I push this up towards the front of the controller, I get that shorter grip. If I pull it out, I get the longer grip. So you can kind of see how there's the halfway, there is all the way down where these go. It works pretty well with that. I have tried it on a few shooters and it seemed to work pretty well. And then you have your magnetic sticks. So what it tries to do is change what is on the Elite controller on the internal shell, where you make these changes, and that changes the throw of the trigger on the Elite controller. It does a pretty good job getting that shorter throw on the standard controller. However, I wouldn't say that it's anywhere as near as high quality as the Elite controller. So once again, if you're trying to mimic an Elite controller with these grips, you get pretty close. I'm not gonna say it's, exactly the same and you should go this route over an Elite controller. No, I still suggest that if you do have the extra money to spend on an Elite controller, to go with an Elite controller instead of trying to make a wannabe. But if you don't have the scratch for the Elite controller and you're trying to get close to having an Elite controller with the features that you want from the Elite controller, this is a good way to go. So once again, we've done the sticks, the magnetic sticks, we've done the magnetic D-pad. Now we have the grips and we have the shorter throw on the trigger. So you're getting pretty close. One thing you'll never really be able to do unless you buy the attachment, which I've seen on top of here, is mimicking the Elite's paddles that plug into the back here. These magnetic paddles go on here and you can have that. But they've done some research and a lot of people don't use these paddles as much as you'd think. Most people really use the Elite controller because the feel, the weight, and also the shorter triggers. That's the main thing people use them for. I definitely don't want to say that people don't use these rear triggers. They're just not used as much as people use the other features of the Elite. So in conclusion, I did want to mention these are pretty good grips. They're not bad. They're good for the value. Like I've said, they range anywhere between $10 and $15 from where you get it. They're from Bionik and they are pretty good. I found them on Amazon. You can find them on eBay for around the same cost. If you're looking for different colors, I have seen them in a few different colors, but here is the box just one more time to kind of show it to you what you're looking for. Like I said, I found them on Amazon. If you have any questions for me, leave them in the comments below. I'll try to get back to them as soon as you leave a question. We try to answer those as quick as possible. And other than that, hopefully you liked it. Make sure to like and subscribe, and thanks for watching.